Hello everyone. So today we will talk about the physical NCERT of the class 11th, 13th chapter related to the ocean water. Okay. So let's discuss about that. Wait a bit. Okay. So water is very important for our life. Around 71% of all areas of the earth is surrounded by the water, and due to the importance of the water, our earth called blue planet also. Okay. So after the air, the water is the second most important thing for the human beings. Without water, they cannot do anything what they want. The next thing is the hydrological cycle. So water is not like once a water is always a water, or once water has gone, always water has gone. If for some circumstances just followed by the human beings, water will just regenerate itself. For example, some kind of cycles like evaporation, condensation, precipitation, transport by the wind, and penetration into the soil. We have underground water also. Okay, so these kind of things are here. And if we talk about the 71% water, among that 97% water is the oceanic water, which is salty water, which is not directly useful for us. For using that, we have to spend a lot of money. Different countries just doing that also. For example, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and other countries which has water stress. So, and after that, the ice caps having the large amount of the water, then the rivers, the lakes, different kind of areas, then groundwater. So I think I'm just remembering that after groundwater, rivers and the lake areas are taking place. Okay. So around 59% of the all waters which are here is returned to the atmosphere through the evaporation. Okay. So if we talk about the relief of the oceanic floors, so we have different kind of oceans also: Pacific, Indian, and Atlantic oceans. So that's the thing. Then the division of the oceanic floor is the continental shelf, continental slope, deep sea plain, oceanic deeps. Okay, what are the continental shelves? Shelves are extended margin which occupy the relatively shallow areas, and the gulfs. It is shallowest part of the oceanic, showing an average gradient of 1 degree or even less. The shelf typically ends at a very steep slope called the shelf breaks. The average width of the continental shelf is about 80 km. The shelves are almost absent or very narrow along some of the margins, like the coast of the Chile, the west coast of the Sumatra, etc. On the other hand, Siberian Shelf in the Arctic Ocean is the largest in the world. It stretches around 15,000 kilometer. Okay, so we can see that, and the depth of these could be vary from area to area. For example, it could be as shallow as the 30 meter or as deep as 600 meter. Okay. The continental shelves are covered with various thicknesses of sediments brought down by the rivers, glaciers, winds from the land, and distributed by the waves and currents. Massive sedimentary deposits received over a long time by the continental shelves become the source of fossil fuels. Then next thing is continental slope. The gradient of the slope region varies between 2 to 5 degree. Depth of this is 200 to 3000 meter. The slope boundary indicates the end of the continent. Canyons, trenches are observed in the region. Then deep sea plains. These are the flattest and the smoothest region of the world. The depth could vary between the 3,000 to 6,000 meter. These plains are covered with fine gradient sediments like clay and the silt. Then next thing is oceanic deep or trenches. These are the deepest part of the earth. Trenches are relatively steep sides, narrow basin. They are some 3 to 5 kilometers deeper than the surrounding ocean floor. They occur at the base of the continent slope. So around 57 deeps have been explored so far. Above that, 32 are in the Pacific Ocean, 19 in the Atlantic Ocean, and 6 in the Indian Ocean. So Indian Ocean is in the third number. So that was the major relief features in the oceanic floor. The next thing is the minor relief features in the oceanic floor. So mid-oceanic ridges, sea mounts, submarine canyons, guyats, atoll, this kind of things are here. If we talk about the sea oceanic ridges, mid-oceanic ridges, so these compose two chains of mountains separated by large depression. The mountain range can have peak as high as 2,500 meter and some even reach above the oceanic surface. Island, a part of the mid-Atlantic ridges, is an example. Sea mounts. So these are the sea mounts of volcanic in origin and around 300 to 3,000 to 4,500 meter tall. The Emperor Sea Mountain is an extension of the Hawaiian Island in the Pacific Ocean. Then submarine canyons. These are the deep valley in the ocean. For example, Colorado River's Valley. Hudson Canyon is the best known submarine canyon in the world. Then guyats. These are the flat top sea mounts. And they show evidence of the gradual subsidence of through stage of to become topped submerged mountain. It estimates that more than 10,000 seamounts and guyats exist in the Pacific Ocean alone. What is the atoll? These are the low island found in the tropical ocean consisting of coral reefs. Surrounding a central depression, it may be part of the sea, lagoon, or sometimes found enclosing a body of fresh, brackish, or high salinity water. After that, we will just discuss about the temperature of the oceanic water. So the temperature of the oceanic water from the horizontal, from the vertical, these varies from different kind of factors. So factors are latitude. So at the above latitude, the salinity of the water increase. Unequal distribution of the land areas. So where more land area will be, the more salinity will be on that place. Prevailing winds also just take one place to another place. Then oceanic currents also take salinity from one place to another place. For example, Gulf Stream, these are the warm currents. Raise the temperature near the eastern coast of the Northern America and the west coast of the Europe, while the Labrador current lowers the temperature near the northeast coast of the America. Okay, then horizontal and vertical distribution of the temperature. So the boundary usually begin around 100 to 400 meter. Then after thermocline started, about 90% of the total volume of the water is found below the thermocline. In the deep ocean, in this zone, temperature approach 0 degrees Celsius. So we will talk about the layers of the ocean. First layer is around 500 meter and between 20 to 25 degrees Celsius temperature in the tropical region. Second layer is the thermocline, which varies from it decreased temperature very fast and 500 to 1000 meter thick. Third layer is very cold, extend the deep oceanic flood in the Arctic Antarctic circle. Okay. The average temperature of the surface of the ocean is about 27 degrees Celsius, and it gradually decreases from the equator towards the poles. The rate of the decrease of the temperature with increasing latitudes is generally 0.5 degrees Celsius per latitude. The average temperature is around 22 degree at 20 latitude, 14 degrees Celsius at 40 latitude, and 0 degrees Celsius near the pole. The ocean in the northern hemisphere record relatively higher temperature than in the southern hemisphere. The higher temperature is not recorded at the equatorial but slightly towards north of it. The average annual temperature for northern and southern hemisphere are around 19 degrees Celsius and 16 degrees Celsius, respectively. Then the temperature falls very rapidly up to the depth of the 200 meter, and thereafter the rate of the decreased temperature is slow down. After that, we will discuss about the salinity of the water. So salinity is just measured by 1000 per gram. So the average salinity of the water is so what is the reason? Mixing of the water, removal of the water, adding of the water are the three basic reasons for that. The horizontal distribution of the salinity, let's see. The salinity for normal open ocean ranges between 33 gram per thousand and 37 gram per thousand. In the landlocked Red Sea, it is high as 41 gram per thousand, while in the estuaries and Arctic, the salinity fluctuates from 0 to 35. Seasonally, in hot and dry region where evaporation is high, the salinity sometimes reaches 270. The salinity varies in Pacific Ocean is mainly due to the shape and large areas extent. Salinity decreased from 75 to 31 on the western part of the northern hemisphere because of the influx of the melted water from the Arctic region. In the same way, after 15 to 20 degrees south, it decreases to 33. The average salinity of the Atlantic Ocean is around 36. The high salinity is recorded between 15 to 20 latitude. Maximum salinity 37 is observed between 20 to north, 30 north, and 20 west to 60 west. It gradually decreased toward the north. The North Sea, in spite of its location in higher latitude, records higher salinity due to the more saline water brought by the North Atlantic Drift. Baltic Sea records low salinity due to the influx of the river water in the large quantity. The Mediterranean Sea records higher salinity due to the high evaporation. Salinity is, however, very low in Black Sea due to the enormous fresh water influx by river. See the average salinity of the Indian Ocean is 35. The low salinity trends observed in the Bay of Bengal due to the influx of the river. On the contrary, the Arabian Sea shows higher salinity due to the high evaporation and low influx of the fresh water figure. Then vertical distribution of the salinity हम बात करेंगे. Salinity change with depth, but the way it changes depends upon the location of the sea. Salinity at the surface increase the loss of the water to ice or evaporation or decreased by the input of the fresh water, such as from a river. Salinity's depth is very much fixed because there is no way that water is lost or salt is added. There is marked difference in the salinity between the surface zone and the deep zone of the ocean. The lower salinity water rests above the higher salinity dense water. Salinity generally increases with depth, and there is density zone called halocline, where salinity increases sharply, other factors being constant. Increasingly, salinity of the seawater causes its density to increase. High salinity seawater generally sink below the low salinity water. This leads to stratification of the salinity. So by this we have completed this chapter also related to the ocean and their temperature, their salinity, their structure. Okay, this is the chapter names is water, ocean, chapter 13. So bye bye.